Now, many people struggle driving away from a standstill position. So today, I'm going to show you how to move away perfectly every single time. Let's do it. So moving away is one of the first things you're going to learn to do in your driving lessons, and it can be quite nerve-wracking. But if you follow this simple guide, you'll be able to do it quite easily in no time at all. So I'm going to show you how to prepare the car, how to drive away, how to change into another gear, and even how to pull up and park it back up on the left-hand side smoothly. Now, first of all, if you're a total beginner, I suggest click this links and have a look at the other videos first. So how to change gears smoothly and how to never stall a car. Then check back on this video. Or alternatively, check out the playlist at the end of this video for more information. Now, if you've seen them, brilliant. Thanks for watching those. This video will make a lot more sense to you. So now we're going to talk about the format or the routine that you need to do every single time you move away and stop and turning and so on. It's called mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. Used to be called mirror, signal, maneuver. Now, you've probably heard a lot of other people, maybe your parents say, your grandparents say, mirror, signal, maneuver. And it's such an old way to teach, okay? The new format is mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. The reason there's a bit of a change there is it just breaks it down a little bit more so you understand what you're going to do at a given time. So mirror, signal, maneuver, well, what does maneuver mean? Move? It doesn't really break down the position you're going to keep, the speed you're going to be doing, whether you're going to slow down or speeding up, and where to look again. So mirrors, then signal, then it's position, speed, look, rather than just maneuver. So we're going to use that routine: mirror, signal, position, speed, look. So the mirror, signal, maneuver format is still valid. Nothing wrong with being taught that way. It's absolutely fine. I've been a driving instructor now for 16 years. And it's, as far as I remember, it's been mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. So whichever format you've taught, it's fine. You'll be good. So let's break them all down, okay? Starting with mirrors. Now, you're going to check your mirrors before you drive away to see if there's anything coming up and down the roads, or if any pedestrians trying to cross the road, and you don't want to be moving away when there's hazards or dangers coming. So I teach a 5-point observation check. So you're going to start checking with your left blind spot, which is that entire left-hand side over there. Then your left door mirror, your center, your right door mirror, and then your right blind spot as well, okay? So mirrors will show you what's coming up and down the roads. Also looking out the front window as well. Your blind spots are things that you can't actually see in your mirrors, okay? Your blind spots is a spot that is blind from your mirrors. So what you physically need to do is actually check properly. Now, most people only check in this little gap through here between this pillar and your head restraint, but that's just not good enough. So really, you've got to lean forwards and look this side of your pillar as well and have a really good look. When you're checking your left blind spot, it's literally have a really good look in that back window, the rear passenger window actually, rather than the back window itself. That is going to be used by your center mirror to see if there's any other hazards or something. Now, the reason to check your right blind spot is to see if there's any cars that are going to be moving away from a parked position that you might not see in that mirror, or a pedestrian might be crossing from the path that side, walking this way, and they don't necessarily know that you're about to drive away. Your signal isn't on yet, so nobody really knows what your intention is. So a really good idea to check all your mirrors, starting from the left to the right. So you're going to do a left to right sweep, okay? Rather than check there, check there, check there, check there, check there, and you're going to get yourself dizzy. So left to right sweep, blind spot, left door mirror, center, right door mirror, right blind spot check. The next thing is put a signal on, okay? An indicator to tell people of your intention that you want to drive away. And it's a right signal. If you're parked up on the left-hand side, which is the norm, you're going to put a right signal because you're going to move away from the curb onto the road. That's a right movement. So that will tell drivers from up and down the roads that you want to move away. It'll also tell pedestrians that you want to drive away. If there's nobody anywhere coming up and down the roads, whatever else, you technically don't need to signal, but I always say, put one on anyway. What's the harm? If a car was coming off a driveway and there's a fence in the way and you can't really see that vehicle or any pedestrians that might be coming out the houses, it's always good to put a signal on anyway. You're just covering your back. It's a good idea. Then the next thing is the position. We're going to move the position of the car, and as you drive away, you're going to move the car a meter away from the curb. Okay, so we're going to be onto the road. Currently, we're parked up. We're about a foot away from the curb, probably a bit less than that, but you want to be a meter, and that's about, well, a meter is 3 foot 3 inches thereabouts. Think of it this way: a car door, if it's open, you want to be that far away from the curb. Okay, so a car door width away from the curb is a great position to keep. The next on the list is speed. Now, we need to add a tiny bit of gas to get the car to actually accelerate, to move faster. You're just going to add about 2 pound coins of gas, not much more than that, at a time. Okay, otherwise if you add too much gas, you're going to speed up way too quickly. Now the gas pedal is actually a very, very, very sensitive pedal. So remember, 1 pound coin thickness is about so thickness, that's about 2 pound coins, and 3, and so on. So if you start with adding just 2 pound coins of gas, then actually add more or less as and when you need to. Next again is look. Now once you've moved away, it's always a good idea to check your mirrors again to see what's there behind you. You know, you're just updating your mirrors basically. If you've just moved away, a car might have come around the corner, or you know, coming fast approaching, or whatever. It might be from quite a distance. So it's always a good idea to check your center mirror and your right mirror again. If we're all good, we continue going. So that's the routine: mirrors, signal, position, speed, look. So another acronym you're going to be taught most likely is POM, P-O-M, and it stands for prepare, observe, then move. So you're going to first of all prepare the car. That's going to be clutch down, first gear, find your low bite point. You're going to do all your observations, then you're going to move. So part of that kind of like interlinks with your mirrors, signal, position, speed, look, routine as well. Prepare is always the first thing that you do. Then you can start doing your observations, which is your mirrors, signal, you start to move, which is your position, your speed, and then you're looking again. Okay, so prepare, observe, move. So let's talk about that clutch and the bite point a little bit more. So the bite point is actually what moves the car in the first place. So when you get your clutch all the way down, there's no power being transferred through the wheels. As soon as you start to bring the clutch up slowly, you're going to get to what's called the bite point. Now you might have heard your instructor talk about this, your friends or mum and dad might have talked about it as well. The bite point is what moves the car. If you've got a low bite point, that's nice. If you've got a high bite point, that's no good, all right? Low bite point, you're going to move away smoothly and gently. A high bite point, the car's going to really want to drive away. Even with the handbrake on, the car will want to move. And if you're not ready to move, then you're going to stall. So high bite point, you could easily stall the car. It's going to move away way too fast. You're going to damage the clutch as well, actually, by, well, it's not good for the clutch, put it that way. High bite point is not ever good for the clutch. Clutches in most cars are very expensive items to replace. In this Mini, it's over £2,000. So it's important to preserve the life of the clutch, no matter what vehicle you drive, especially yours. Actually, especially mine. Don't burn my clutch out. So how do you know you've got a good bite point? Well, in most cars, well in this car in particular, as soon as you've got the bite point, you can hear the engine note change. The engine automatically gives you a little bit of gas. So that's the engine management system doing that for you. You can also add a tiny bit of gas. That's absolutely fine, and that's a good idea to also do. But this car will also do it for you, and I'll show you that in a moment. Some cars won't actually do that. Obviously in modern cars, that will actually happen. Another way to tell is if your back of your car dips down a bit, that might mean that your bite point may be a little bit too high. Now it differs between petrol and diesel slightly as well, but how you drive it will essentially be the same anyway. So that's enough about the bite point. You're going to hear a lot of that in all of your driving lessons anyway. Now let's add a little bit of gas as well. So once you're prepared, it's clutch down, first gear, find that low bite point and set a bit of gas. So the gas you're going to add is maybe just about 2 pound coin thicknesses of pedal. Remember that gas pedal is a very sensitive pedal. You're just going to add a tiny bit at a time and add more as and when you need it. But to prepare, clutch down, first gear, find your low bite point, add a 2 pound coins of gas and hold your feet still. Now it's time to put all of that together and actually show you how to move away and pull it back on the left hand side. Let's do it. So now let's put all of that together and put it into practice. So we're going to use our mirrors, signal, position, speed, look, routine. First of all, it's prepare the car. Remember, POM, P-O-M, prepare, observe, then move. So preparing the car is quite easy. Clutch down, into our first gear. Let's find a low, gentle bite point, okay? So let's look at this a little bit more detail. So there, I can just hear the car give me a little bit of gas, that's fine. I've just felt the back of the car dip down a tiny bit, that's okay. If you find too much of a high bite point, look, the car's actually moving. Even if I've got the bite point, the handbrake on fully, if you have a high bite point, that you can actually hear it really struggling and you can hear the rear brakes creaking, that's no good. Remember, the high bite point is no good. Damages the car, damages the clutch. And lots of other problems like, you know, you could potentially stall, or move away way too fast than you're actually prepared for it to go. So clutch is down, into my first gear gently, find a low bite point. There it is. Okay, now we're going to do our mirrors. So left blind spot check, no one's there. Left mirror check, it's looking good. Center mirror check, no one's behind me. Right mirror check, right blind spot check, nice and properly, and it's looking good. So mirrors, then it's signals. I'm going to check them down the roads again. It's still looking safe and clear. So I can release the handbrake, and as soon as up 2 pound goes on the clutch, hold it 4 seconds. I can move away from the curb. This is the position. Move the position away from the curb, and I can fully come off the clutch now, and you can add a bit of gas. Okay, let's park back up on the left-hand side. So mirrors, signal, gently brake, clutch down, my position. Bring the car back in again, and gently come to a stop. Now, once you've stopped, do not take your feet off the pedals. Your clutch should be fully down. You should still be pressing that brake pedal, but not really hard, so that you don't roll away. As soon as you've stopped the car, it's time to secure the car. So handbrake back on, and I use the clicking up method. 4 clicks is fine. Go back into neutral and give it a bit of a man shake, so you know it's actually in neutral and not in a gear. And then you can take your feet off the pedals. If you don't go into neutral and then you come off the clutch, you're going to stall the car. No good. So it's always make sure, once you've stopped, keep your feet still down on the pedals, secure the car, handbrake neutral, give it a shake, make sure it's in neutral, and then you can take your feet off the pedals. So now we're going to do the mirror, signal, position, speed up routine again. So mirrors, blind spot, left mirror, center mirror, right blind spot check, signal, check again, still looking good, still looking safe. Release the handbrake all the way down, up 2 pound on the clutch, hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then signals off, double check my mirrors again, center and right. And let's park back up on the left-hand side against the mirrors, signals, position, speed, gently brake, clutch fully down, leave the pedals straight down, do not bring them back up. Remember, the clutch down, you're just taking the power away, and I'm going to gently come to a stop just past this person's driveway. Once I've stopped, handbrake back on, into my neutral, do a shake, take my feet off the pedals, and if the signal is still on, we can actually switch that back off again. Now let's add gear changes into that as well. So moving away, going into second gear, and we'll pull it back on the left-hand side again. So let's prepare the car. Clutch down, first gear, find a low bite point, set a bit of gas. My observations, the mirrors, center, right mirror, right blind spot, signal, check again, it's looking clear. I'm going to stop because now a van's just come around the corner, so we're just going to stop and wait for him. He's pulled up behind me, so I'm going to just double check, make sure it's safe and clear, and now I can actually move on. So this is the reason why we've got to check our mirrors again. Okay, now as I move away, I can change gears. Off gas, clutch down, second gear, 5 seconds off the clutch, 5, 4, 3, bit of gas, 2, 1. Simple. Okay, now I'm going to increase some speed, go into my next gear. Off gas, clutch down, third gear, 5, 4, 3, bit of gas, 2, 1. And let's park back up on the left. Mirrors, signals, position, gently brake, clutch down, and we'll come to a gentle stop. And then we secure the car. Handbrake, neutral, and then you can take both feet off the pedals. As soon as your handbrake is on, you can take your foot off the brake, but I like to teach, keep both feet down so pupils don't get confused with that. And if the signal is still on, like you can hear it, just tap it off, and it switches it off straight away. Let's look at that again. So it's just going to be done smoothly and gently. Just take your time, don't rush with it whatsoever. The smoother you are, the more gentle you are, the more accurate it's going to be. So let's give that another go. Clutch down, first gear, find a low bite point, set a bit of gas, check my mirrors, center mirror, right blind spot. Now wait for this cyclist, give a signal. Okay, so that's mirror signals done. There's another car coming from ahead of us, we can see it, so I'm going to need to wait for that car. Meanwhile, let's check mirrors again, blind spot again, it's still looking clear, so let's release the handbrake, and up 2 pound coins. Oh, another car coming, so again I need to wait for this car. While I'm waiting, I can get my car ready again, get it prepared, and check again, it's looking clear, so let's move on now. Holding the bite point for a few seconds, 4 second hold, 2, 1, off the clutch. add a bit more power, change gears, update my mirrors center and right. Okay, and we'll go a bit further down the road this time. Okay, next gear, off gas, clutch down. Third gear, slowly, 5, 4, 3, bit of gas, 2, 1. Now we'll just go around this corner and we'll park back up on the left-hand side in a safe, convenient and legal place. So anywhere along here looks great. So mirrors, center and left, signal, left, position, move left, speed, gently brake, clutch down. And look to see where you're going to park up so that you don't hit the curb. As soon as you come to a stop, handbrake on, into neutral, give it a shake so you make sure you're neutral, feet up the pedals. And if the signal is still on, switch it off. And as you can see this time, it actually turned itself off, so that's fine. Sometimes that will actually happen. Simple as that. That's how you're going to move away and stop and change gears in the process. Now there's quite a few common mistakes that pupils will make before they drive away. Number one is they would actually look around before actually getting into gear. You're not going to be ready. The car's not going to be ready. So you've looked around and then you start to get the car ready. Now, in those extra 5 to 10 seconds of preparing the car, after you've checked, the situation could change really quickly. Some cars could be coming down the road. You might have some cyclists, some pedestrians. So it's always a good idea to prepare the car first, get the car ready, then do your checks. And as soon as you know it's safe, you can move away. A common mistake number 2 is not doing proper observations. Now, it's really important to check up and down the roads clearly, especially that right blind spot. And a lot of pupils miss that one, okay? So you've got to really have a good check up and down the roads and only go when it's safe. Get as much information as you possibly can to see, is it clear? Is it safe for us to move or not? Okay, mistake number 3 pupils make is not releasing the handbrake fully down. What they do is they let the button go a little bit too early, and the handbrake isn't fully down. It sits in its level place, and as you move away, the car actually warns you that the handbrake is still on and to release it fully. That takes your concentration away from what you're doing. People look down there and they make more mistakes. So make sure your handbrake is fully down. You hear that knocking noise, then let the button go, then you're good. Mistake number 4, pupils normally forget to put a signal on. Now it's quite important if there are lots of cars coming down the roads, or especially if the pedestrians walking, or any of the hazard that you see that you think you need to put a signal on, put it on. That's why I teach, even if there's no one's around, put one on anyway. What's the harm? No harm in putting a signal on. You're going to save yourself one way or another. And another common mistake, when you're slowing down to park back up on the left, pupils normally forget to brake or put the clutch down, or both. And you know, if you don't brake, well, you're not going to slow down. If you forget to put the clutch down, you're going to stall. If you forget to brake and put the clutch down, well, who knows what's going to happen. It's not going to look pretty good. So yeah, that's another mistake. Brakes, then clutch. So well done. You've now learned how to prepare the car, how to drive away, how to change into gears, and park back up on the left-hand side. Always a good idea to keep checking back on this video every so often before your driving lesson, or even after your last driving lesson, a few times. You know, sit in your seat at home and practice those gear changes. Learn it, practice it, learn it again, and so on. Keep doing that and you'll get better and better and better, and you'll drive very well really quickly. So click these links here for next videos. As always, like, subscribe to the channel, share this page please, I'd much appreciate it, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.